There's a good mix of agribusiness, from the dairy business, from the beef business, from the grain business, in particular from agri-inputs, which is an area that creates a lot of employment. We have representatives from all the different sectors and that are very conscious of the 300,000 jobs that are in the agriculture and agri-food sector and the 9 billion in exports. The next 2 weeks are going to be critical for decisions that are going to be made for the future of Irish agriculture. On the 18th, 19th of March, the Council of Ministers expect to come up with their final proposals on how the distribution of the single farm payment will take place. And then there's an expectation that there'll be a final political deal on the 24th, the 25th of June. The next couple of weeks, it's absolutely imperative that our Minister for Agriculture, who is in the chair of the Council of Ministers, protects active farmers and protects the interests of the Irish agribusiness and agri-sector. Clearly, over the last number of years, with the changes in weather, the changes in commodity prices, farm incomes have fluctuated hugely between 2009, 2010, 11 and 12. And a combination of change in input prices, which are rising substantially, tight prices in the marketplace and volatile weather have resulted in drops in income in 2009 and drops in 2012. During those years, the vital importance of the single farm payment to protect active farmers and to give farmers the opportunity to meet their repayments to banks and to pay silent contractors and pay for all inputs was essential. The single farm payment was introduced by the European Commission to support food security for 500 million consumers across Europe, to create and maintain employment through all regions of Europe and for public good. But the proposals coming from the Commission and the Council of Ministers at the moment are going to have a devastating effect on agriculture, in particular active farmers who've invested substantially in their business. This is the first reform where there is a proposal for savage cuts to active farmers. Under the proposals, as outlined by Minister Simon Coveney a week and a half ago in Brussels, over 250 million euros will be transferred from active farmers. Those are cuts that in several cases will be over 30% of their single farm payment, which makes up a huge part of their income. And very clearly the Minister and the Government have committed to Food Harvest 2020. But if you take 250 million away from active farmers, damage their capacity to borrow, damage their capacity to repay their bills, it will totally undermine all the targets for Food Harvest 2020 and put huge pressure on the survival of the suckler herd and the beef industry, damage any plans for expansion in the dairy sector, and certainly with high conacre prices put huge pressure on grain and sheep farmers. So across all the sectors, there's huge damage going to be done. And we're here today saying to Minister Simon Coveney that he has to stand up at the Council of Ministers and fight to protect Irish agriculture, to protect all the jobs in the agriculture food sector and get a deal that works for Ireland.